one of the things that I've noticed just on a personal level is that there is sort of a blurring of lines between, say, you mentioned entertainment there, but I think it's also beyond that. I mean, you've got journalism maybe on one side, but you've got advocacy, then you've got marketing, you've got entertainment, and then probably at the worst end of the scale, you've got propaganda, which also exists as well. And maybe the difficulty for the layperson, or for somebody who's not deep into the media sphere, it might be difficult to distinguish the differences between, say, journalism and advocacy or entertainment. So how do you guys at Daily Maverick, first of all, approach that problem? And then I guess, how do you avoid, because, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, right? But some of journalism, I guess, does have to have some level of entertainment value to it to keep people somewhat engaged, because dry facts and data kind of bore people, right? So where's the line?
Yeah, certainly you do need to be able to package it in a way that makes it easier to consume. Mm-hmm. And depending on which platform you're on, what your preferences are, is that in text? Is that in video? Is it in audio? Is it in print? Is it on a mobile screen? But the underlying work, it needs to be done. And then it's a case of repackaging it and then putting it in different places so that it can have the biggest potential impact. And sometimes that impact is linked to reach. And so that's how we think about it is, if we know that it addresses a need, then that work's done. But then the next case is, okay, well, now how do we amplify the impact of this work that we've chosen to invest our limited resources in? And how do we give the best chance of success? Bearing in mind at the same time, there's all those things you mentioned, that we are moving away from information integrity, especially in the social media space. There are no controls, there are no guardrails to assist people in knowing what is, and it's reliant on the individual to kind of try and figure out, what is legitimate, what is propaganda, what is mis and disinformation, all these things. Who are the bad actors? Who can you trust? Who can't you trust? Who can you trust some of the time? Who's trying to weaponize that relationship with, 2% propaganda campaign? And all of these are really complicated things. And so we see that as part of our job, is to do that underlying foundational work, publish that on our site in different formats. And then how can you take that and then put that out into the world that also helps combat some of that stuff, so that when people see the Daily Maverick brand attached to a piece of journalism, that our history, our track record, and our values, our vision and mission are all, a marker of something that you can trust, and that's what we strive for. But we're doing that in a time where journalism is now a very, very small part of this big information space. Someone called it one flavor in a information ice cream shop. But I think that that isn't the best analogy, because it assumes all those flavors are kind of equal in some way. They're the same nutritional value, and you'll have a pleasant experience from each of those. It's just a personal taste. But if it was more accurate, there would be streams that fit in that ice cream shop, if we were being honest. Yeah. Right? And so I don't think that analogy works. But we're a smaller part of much bigger information system with more restrictions on us and the way that we work, because we have to go through a professional process, which incurs costs and time delays and an editorial process. And so it's not a level playing field. At the same time, and then on top of that, you have this phenomenon of where a lot of the people who do that professional work are putting all their work behind a paywall, and all the crap can fly around the world in no matter, in a matter of seconds. And you have these two things where it takes longer to do a professional job, get that out there, and then put it behind a paywall. So, there's something very wrong with how we've allowed the information system to develop and erode information integrity. And we can see the impact of that around the world.